This is a paid promotion, as I received this game for free at Gencon with the intent of producing content around it. Be warned. Hello and welcome to Assorted Meeples. I'm Phillip, the Meeple on duty, and today we are talking about Chu Han by Matagot Games. This was not a game I was looking for, but it's a game I received from the Surfin Meeples booth at Gencon by AJ, and I'm glad he gave it to me. But I went to that booth looking originally at the Nico. Oh, what was it? I can't remember. The cat one in Tokyo or Kyoto, and I always forget the name. Miko no Kyoto, something like that. That's another side point. But he handed me a bunch of games. One of these games was Chu Han. Another one that I've done some content around already is Papillon Gardens, which is a flip and right, roll and right game that was really good. You can check it. I'll have a link down in the description. You can go check that one out and see for yourself. Now, Chu Han is a trick-taking game for 2 players based on the conflict between the Chu and Han peoples at the end of the, I think it's Qin Dynasty, as they all struggled over who was controlling and consolidating China into China. Very wonderful time period of Chinese history. I know I probably have the romanticized version in my head. Be that as it may, I do like the time period of China. Now I'm going to swing over to a top-down view, and I'm going to do a component count for you guys so you can see what comes in the box, as well as a quick rules overview, inserting myself into this right here, because I know you're thinking this is the top-down view, but it's not. There's a link in the description for our Patreon. Please come support us if you enjoy our content. You also get access to our Discord server where we hang out and play games on every second Tuesday of the or Friday of the month with our Patreons, as well as just hang out and chat all the time. So go do that. Now back to the regular scheduled program. Bye. All right, so let's open up the box and see where we're at. I'll set this right up in the corner for us. So right off the bat, you have your 2. One, you have your rule book, and 2, you have your campaign book in case you want to go through a campaign with this game. I have not looked into this at all, but it is here if you want to. Next off, we're going to pull out the main deck that we're going to play with. These have all the cards, and we're going to set those aside because we'll go into those in the rules. Next, we're going to pull out the reference cards. There is one for each faction, the card scoreboard, and then the 6 writs in card form, as well as the event deck. Now, these have different things like calm, nothing happens, rapid advance, players may take a writ only on response. So there is a bunch of different things that can come up if you are playing with the event deck as well. Next, we have the little scoreboard pieces that have either a C, I don't know if you can see that much. On one side, you have a C and an H. On the other side, I'm going to assume that is the Chu and the Han. And these will go on your scoreboard. Next, we're going to pull out your 4 cardboard writs that are just the same. They're just heavy cardboard. And then you also have your player references in heavy cardboard pieces. One side is the Chu, and the other side, or which one is it? Ah, yes. So these would go to the Han player, these would go to the Chu player. There is no difference between them, they're just different shapes. And the last main component that is in here is the scoreboard. Very nice, very nice. And the last thing is a little bit of extra that I really appreciate, and that is a deck box if you don't want to take the big box with you. So we're going to push that off to the side, and we're not going to worry about that at all. Where's that? Well, that's my rule books over here in the corner. Okay, just getting a better spatial so I know what I have. This is very nice just in case you don't want to take the whole box with you. We're going to slide it out of the way for now. The scoreboard is absolutely fantastic. Doesn't matter which one you use. We're just going to set that up properly. I think that's correct. And your player pieces. Now, the player cards. There's the other ones of these for the other player. The cards are numbered 1 through 9 with an extra 0. Now, they explain what all of these do right here on these card abilities. So, first one, the 0, it either plays as a wild, so it can be any number you want, or it counts as rank 0. On 2s, if you play 6 or more 2s, you gain 6 victory points. Now, all the 3s and all the 6s each have a unique ability to them that you can use in gameplay. So if it says lead, if you are in the lead and you're the first one to lay down cards, you can play this, and it kind of plays to the side, and then you go ahead. So look and put back the top 4 cards, discard a card, take a rank 1 through 5 discard. And these are reacts. Cancel a special power. React, cancel to cancel. This is how we play the game. This is scoring. Here are the rest of the player powers. Respond with an equal rank set. Pass to take the lead. Rival gains 3 victory points. Play all different as lowest rank. Skip response, rival gains a VP, but you take the lead. Play as a rank 10 to the 9. Pass double VPs, rest of hand. So there are a bunch of different things that are going to happen in this game. The first thing that we're going to do is obviously you get a good shuffle with what you're doing. And in order to win this game, you are trying to go out of cards. And when you go out of cards, you gain victory points based on the number of cards that your opponent had left in their hand. Now, first thing you do, we're going to do, 3 stacks. We're going to split it into 3 stacks. Now, thank you for your patience with that. This one that got 16 cards, the other 2 have 15. The one that gets 16 cards, we're going to go 1, 2, 3, 4, and we're going to turn them sideways because we're never going to use those. Because on your turn, in response, you may take a writ and you may draw 2 cards. Now, if I'm trying to get rid of cards, why would I take cards? Well, in order to get bigger sets of cards of the same number. The downside of the writ is that, yes, you are taking extra cards, but this writ itself counts as 1 point if you go out first, or if your opponent goes out first. It acts as an extra point. So I'm just going to flip this over. And what we're doing here is turning them all the right way, because that's annoying. Who does that? Callahan, why are you like this? Your ones, the way this is structured too, your ones have 9 cards And your 9 has 1 cards, and they stagger step all the way up. So I'm going to put them all together. That way I can see what I have. You know, that's a lot of 1s. Not a lot of other things here. I've got a couple 4s. There's a 4s there. Got 1 3. Slide that there. There's a 5er. 5er. There's another 3. All right, I have this hand kind of ready to go. Now, remember, your 3s, your 6s do special things, and your 2s have a different role because they can score straight points. So I'm going to set this hand down here, nice and pretty, so we can see all the cards in there. Now I'm going to go ahead and do the same thing over here where I just kind of organize it. Now, in a game, I have discovered that you probably don't want to put them all in a line, 1 through whatever. Oh, they got all the big cards. So they only got small sets, which puts them in a very weird place when it comes to it. There's 3 2s, a couple of 1s, another 7 and another 4 3s. That's spicy. That gives them some options here. Let's fan these out so we can see them all better. Now, there we go. Say this is the first player over here. They have the lead. What they're going to do is they're going to pick any number of cards that they want, all of the same number, and they're going to play those. So like, let's say they play these 4 1s. So that gets rid of 4 cards out of their hand. And again, you're trying to go out of cards before your opponent goes out of cards to score victory points based on the discrepancy. And these guys happen to have 3 3s. Now, they would have to play a number larger than 1 and in equal numbers to what I played. So that's 1 to 3s. They don't have, oh, they do have 4s. Wow, look at that. So that's 4 4s. So they have the lead now. Comes back to them. They do not have enough to play. So these are now discarded. And we move on to the next round. So they're going to just go 3 3 or 3 2s. They have 3 2s, but they can't play those. So now they don't have 3 of another kind, so they have to yield again. So he gets rid of those 2s. And it just keeps paring down until you run out of cards. If they take the lead, they would start the next hand. Once you run out, so let's say, okay, so they're going to play their pairs of 3s. They got a pair of 7s. So they don't have another pair. So this hand takes the lead. They're going to play, at this point, they're going to play a pair of 1s. They don't have a pair. They get rid of those. They're going to do the same thing with the 2s. They're going to use the 4s. Take that out. Oop, sorry. 4 5. Ooh, that's not good. 9. They can't take it, so they take the lead. 5. They're going to pair that, so that becomes the 5. So that's 2. They don't have a response, so he goes out. We will say they were the Jew, and they get 1 point because they have 1 card left over. Now you're going to rinse and repeat until one person gets to 31 points. And that is the whole of the game. That is basically all the rules. That's a little scattered because this game definitely goes a little scattered. Let me check my notes here. The art in this game is gorgeous. They chose a great color palette. They did highly detailed. It is absolutely fantastic, and I love it. The scoreboard and cardboard pieces, the components themselves, the cards, all of it is of really high caliber. Like, this is some of the chonkiest cardboard I've seen in a while, and I love it, and I'm here for it. The rules are simple with a caveat, and I'll get into that caveat in the cons. There is a campaign mode. If you want to, if you want a little more variety in your game, this will give you that variety in your game. And I love the other fact that they put in enough cards that they didn't have to allow you to take this game and keep it or just travel with it as a cards-only setup. That is something that I wish a few more companies that produce smaller games would think about. And not just creating a smaller box, but if they want a bigger shelf space, creating something that they can easily take, that you can easily take with you. The cons for this one is that this is kind of an unusual trick-taking game where you're discarding cards away rather than trying to collect them and keeping the lead by being the last player being able to play. That's the caveats to the rules being simple. This is a very simple game, but the end target is not necessarily super simple. The goals of how you do it are not exactly clear and simple. And that makes the learning process a little longer. Like, this took an entire game and kind of into the second game to really figure out, oh, that's what you do. And then the card abilities as well. It takes a little longer to like, oh, that's how you use this. Oh, this is how we do this. Okay. But once it clicks, it's actually a very fluid and very simple game. That is what I like about it. It is very simple with a unique take on playing games. And I really like that. Heather really liked this one too as we started playing it. Once we learned what we were doing, because we played a couple of games in one setting, and she really liked it. We just have so many games going on right now that it's hard to keep up with them all. So this is going to stay in the collection. I do not know if it stays in the box or if it stays in the card as only cards. I will be very sad if it goes to the card only, because the cardboard components of this one are actually very good as well. What are your thoughts on this game if you've played it? If you haven't played it, is this one you're looking for? I hope I did a good enough job that you got a good overview of how this game plays. And as always, thanks for watching, guys, and we will see you next time.